Hey y'all, what's up? Okay, come join me. Grab you a drink and grab you a snack because we're about to get into it. Okay, so in the small town of Amarillo, Texas, there are 49 unsolved murder cases or unsolved cases that have went cold. Now, there was a case that had happened in the early 90s with a woman named Aurora White. She was 24 years old. And she was found deceased in her home after a big old fire that had, initially they had thought was an accident, but they later found out that it was covered up because she was actually initially stabbed. Police said that they think that the perpetrator that did this stabbed her and then set the fire to cover up his tracks or her tracks, whoever did this. Now, nobody at the time, there was not enough evidence to continue looking into it. I mean, they searched, I guess, every avenue that they could. But with the fire and the water and all of this other stuff, there was not enough evidence to come about why or find a suspect or anything like that. Now, it kind of went cold for a while, and I'm talking a good while. Now, here recently, there was a new detective that started looking in to old cold cases, and he thinks that he may have found a connection between Aurora White's case, so now that one's been pulled from the back burner, and another lady named Carolyn Karp, and a man that is named Ronald Morton. Now, uh, Carolyn Karp owned a speak easy club type thing, and she had a trailer on the backside of her bar. And when the initial call came in, it was because the trailer was completely engulfed. And when they got there, of course, they put the fire out, went in, and found her body. Now, the initial cause of death for her was a gunshot wound to her. And now they're saying that they thought, well, maybe it was possibly a robbery gone bad, which is also which is also possible. Now, they said though that her body and her house was in such her body was such badly burned that there was possibly an accelerant that was used to start the fire, and it was initially started on her. So that makes it like really bad because who knows if she was actually deceased before this happened or if it happened while she was still alive. And then you have Ronald Morton. He was found a couple of months later in his apartment on November 6th of 92. Now, earlier that day, people had said that they had saw him at a park. So that was the last time they had saw him alive. Now, they said, though, that where he was living, there was good security. So whoever done this to him, he had to have actually let in himself in order for this person to get in. Now, he was found after a fire had rang out with 9 stab wounds to his face, 5 to his upper body, 2 to his neck, and 8 to his hands, like he was trying to stop the attack. Now, unfortunately, he was stabbed so many times, of course, he probably bled out before he could do any further, any damage to this person. So then to cover up his murder, they also like burnt him up and started the fire. So now police are saying, okay, well, there's too much coincidence for it to not be related because of they all committed crimes. There was all crimes committed prior to the fires being set. I don't know if they suspect it, that it's all related because maybe all of them had the same kind of accelerant or the same kind of way of starting the fire, or, if they had found something specific, maybe even a cigarette butt or something that was found that was left from the fires that would connect all three of these cases. But like I said, most of the evidence in all of these cases were destroyed or damaged. Now, I understand though that because of the specific type of cover up, they do think that these are all related. But they also said that there was a possible arsonist in the area too, only because a lot of fires were being set at this time. But in 97, there were two more bodies found in buildings after a fire was set intentionally. But they think that those people or those victims were accidental victims. So they weren't, like, I guess, harmed prior to the cause of death and the actual, like, fires ringing out and stuff. But I want to know, do you think that these cases could be linking them? Like, because I have so many questions. Like, did they know? I know I said like, sorry. Anyway, do they know if they have any, like, known associates, like people that know each of them? Who were they around prior to their death? Were any of them alcoholics or on drugs, or, because there's no connection. I don't see a connection other than the possible, like, trying to cover up the scene with fire. But any person, I think, that has ever committed a crime, there's a possible chance that they see, oh, well, a fire's an easy way to cover it up. It's easier for me to get away with. Anybody that's watched any kind of criminal shows or any kind of investigation shows, they show a lot of fires that have covered up previous crimes. And everyone knows that that's an easy way to do it. Now, I want to know though, if they did know anybody that was that knew each of them. I want to know what was, like. I keep almost saying it. I'm trying not to. I want to know, is there any connection and job wise for them, or did they know each other? Did they have similar people that they hung around? Their lifestyles, were there any similarities in those? Could they have been victims of people that watched them for a while and knew their routine and what they did? Were they stalked by the same person? Could, any of those kind of questions. Did they live in the same area other than it just being in Amarillo? Were they close in proximity? Where somebody could know that they were an easy target, possibly? Could this person have befriended them first in order to be let in? Was there any sign of forced entry into Carolyn Karp's house beforehand? If there was any kind of way to tell that. Was there any forced entry in Aurora White's house? There are so many questions on here that are still unknown that it would be hard to find a specific suspect, I believe, in any of these cases. Do y'all, know what I'm saying? Like, who do you think would have done that? Or why do you think they would do it? And like I said, one of them they suspect it was a robbery, but do you think the other ones were a robbery as well? Or attempted robbery and it just went bad before anything could happen? I want to know what you think. Get back to me. Peace.